The drama series Startup ended quite recently. While it aired, Startup received much love from viewers for many different elements in the series. We would like to revisit some of those elements and discuss our perspectives on them. Please keep in mind that this discussion may spoil some important parts of the story. Let us first discuss about the characters in Startup. We have So Dal-mi, a young woman with big dreams and positive attitude. We are given a peek at her childhood, looking at how she dealt with various events which influenced her life. At the early part of the series, she was introduced as a dependable part-timer, although being undervalued by the company in which she worked. Later on, after an eventful meeting, she decides to be more assertive with her ambition and intends to start her own company. Next, there is Nam Do-san, a central character who was introduced relatively a bit later, shown mostly as a background information in the first episode. He is a genius in mathematics and programming, winning a mathematical Olympiad when he was a child and winning a coding competition with his colleagues. He has a timid personality, however, and also a bit clueless when it comes to social interaction. He was a CEO of a startup company, Samsan Tech, which he found with his two best friends. Then, there is Han Ji-pyong, a competent financial analyst with a struggling background. Viewers may grow attached to him as his story was presented in more detail in the first episode. He worked his way up from the bottom and became a key person in a high-profile company. We will also meet Won In-jae, the sister of Dal-mi who changed her family name after their mother remarried with another man. She starts as a CEO of a famous company, Nature Morning, and she is portrayed as a capable manager, even though she sometimes receives questions because of her connection with his rich adoptive father. There are also many other characters that serve supporting roles. We will meet other members of So Dal-mi's family, from her father, mother, and grandmother. They will each play their part in the story. Then, we have Lee Chul-san and Kim Yong-san, best friends of Nam Do-san who are also programmers and founding members of Samsan Tech. When Samsan Tech expands, we are introduced to Jong Sa-ha, a new staff at Samsan Tech recruited by So Dal-mi. Nam Do-san parents also make appearances and become a part of the story. At the rival side, there is also the adoptive family of Won In-jae, which include her stepfather and stepbrother. Throughout the episodes, the characters undergo various kinds of development. We can see So Dal-mi struggles as a new CEO for Samsan Tech while she has limited knowledge to the business sector in which the company operates. She learns a lot through experience accompanied by intensive advices from Han Ji-pyong, who serves as the company's mentor. She also developed different kinds of feelings towards Nam Do-san, both from history and her recent interaction. We feel that her character development reached a peak in the middle of the series, and there were only minor additions to her character in the later episodes, mostly on her view on romance. For Nam Do-san, the character seemed to develop relatively more towards romance aspect rather than his professional aspect. He seems to learn less new things in programming or business, even though he does give sound ideas and suggestions occasionally. He surrenders his logical and rational views several times against Dal-mi's more idealistic views of reality. With all those things that going on in the episodes, we may feel that most of his actions are built around Dal-mi, and we are left wondering about other aspects of his motivation and ambition. Other characters undergo relatively slight development focused on mostly one aspect of their life. Han Ji-pyong comes to terms with his feelings towards Dal-mi and her grandmother. He does have a rise in career in the later episodes, but the details are not really shown. Won In-jae breaks free from the situation that prevents her to be more open towards her blood relatives. She stays as the CEO from the beginning to the end of the story. Chul-san and Yong-san stay relatively the same, easygoing and optimistic as supporters of Nam Do-san, even after having experience in a global company. They have full faith in Do-san, and they see the future to be mostly bright when Do-san is involved. All in all, Throughout the series, we can see the various characters develop more towards dealing with their personal issues, and they were made to coincide with different events in the series. We feel that there were opportunities to express a more nuanced development of the characters. Even so, we can be satisfied with seeing the characters develop in a way that links with the focus of the story, in one way or another. Let us look a bit closer to the theme and storyline. Startup is quite refreshing as it highlights the ups and downs of modern technology companies. This background is then filled by the characters, most of them at the early stage of their careers, trying to achieve their dreams through the company. It also opens many possible explorations of the main theme in the series, in which the company is focusing in developing artificial intelligence. We are also given a sketch of the changing nature of business operations, where there is a trend towards automatization and how this affects human resources in the company. Benefits from technology come with a cost, and a company must strategically utilize technology alongside its availability of human resources. There are also efforts to introduce terms that are related to startup ventures, giving the non-specialist viewers more information to understand the context. All of these combine to give us an interesting plot and character interactions. The story extends across a period of 10 years, although most of the main story takes place in the 7th year of that period when Sodalmi joins Samsung Tech. The story opens 7 years in the past, explaining events that led to the current situation of Sodalmi. Then, the story leaps 7 years forward towards the present. We are also given some scenes of past events explaining background of some characters and how these influence the present. Nearly at the end of the series, the story leaps forward once again, this time 3 years into the future. This setting provides the series with sufficient spaces to develop the characters. Even so, we feel that the changes in the characters' personality and outlook are felt more pronounced in the first time-lapse compared to the second one. In the 3 years time-lapse, there are only marginal changes in the characters' personality, relationship, and even career situations. The world seemed to be kept in place in those 3 years and started revolving again only when we can see the characters. Nothing much happened off-screen. We think that there were missed opportunities, even though the end result is still interesting to follow. Romance is an important part of this series. We can see that the love triangle between Sodalmi, Namdo-san, and Han Ji-pyong took the internet by storm when the series aired. Han Ji-pyong is such a lovable character that his personality and traits can actually fit the main role should the writers wish to do so. The male lead Namdo-san is of course worthy of his status, and this interesting combination of male characters was successful in making the viewers engage with the series more. As important as it is, the romance aspect takes a significant portion in the story, even more so in the later episodes after the 3-year time-lapse. Sodalmi's grandmother plays quite a central role in the main story. She was actively involved in the letter correspondence between Sodalmi and Han Ji-pyong, became the main reason for the development of Samsung Tech's technology, and also as a representation of conventional food business. This kind of take shows us that there are ideas around everyday interaction that can have greater meanings if it is developed more thoroughly. We can feel positive vibes from the story overall. Most of the characters are optimistic and hardworking, portraying the bright side of humanity. The rival characters have negative traits, of course, but they are not sinister and almost non-threatening to the protagonist. The characters can deal effectively with the problems they encounter, and we can see them thriving from one victory to another. We can see comedy scenes here and there, and they are included naturally into the story. It will give you a cheerful feeling looking at how the characters deal with all sorts of challenges and problems, leaving us with traces of optimism and confidence at the end of each story arc. To summarize, Startup combines many different elements: coming of age, romance, family, and weaves them together with the background of startup ventures. Startup takes place in the global increasing significance of information technology, where there are many innovations emerging in various aspects of human life. The viewers may relate with the context portrayed in the drama and find real-life comparison not as positive as it is in the series. However, The drama is still a justified presentation as one possible outcome of startup ventures, albeit an optimistic one. The idea of an incubator for startup companies has also been presented and implemented elsewhere across the world, and Sandbox portrays the situation if this reality happens in a grand scale. We can see the positive impact of a business incubator in accelerating progress and supporting new business. The overall message behind this portrayal may be meant to encourage people to explore new ideas and potential collaborations. Scaling up often becomes a tricky part in business venture, and Startup shows how it happens in one of the episodes. All of the episodes are actually given titles which relate to a specific aspect on business, highlighting each aspect alongside the story progression. As many elements in the drama appear to induce warm and bright feeling, the series also shows this kind of sensation through the cinematography and directing. We can see many scenes in the series are shown with bright and colorful tone, supporting the message given in the story. Often, the camera focuses on important objects, which importance may only be revealed later in the plot. This brings another depth to this series as a whole, one that makes it more memorable for the viewers. As a drama targeted for mainstream young audience, Startup is supported with an extensive list of original soundtracks. There is a total of 17 songs for the series, more than its total episodes. The list of artists involved in the soundtrack also includes some popular Korean pop groups, either as a whole or as a subunit. Future from Red Velvet and Running from Gaho will often show up in the episodes, shaping the overall mood in the series, while the other songs are related to more specific topics and scenes. Looking at all the elements that form Startup as a drama series, we feel that this drama can easily find audiences, especially from younger age groups. The bright portrayal of the characters chasing dreams and romance will be of interest to many people. This is that kind of drama that encourages the viewers to take action and not falter when facing adversity. It is fun to watch, yet also quite serious at times, leaving the viewers with good feelings afterwards. There are aspects that can be made tighter and stronger, but the drama is quite solid on its own. If you have not watched it, you may want to try it as it can worth your while. Please tell us what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notification of new contents. See you in the next video!